Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Brigatti. Today is Wednesday, May 6, 2020. I hope everybody is doing good. I'm here to do our fraction lesson. It's exit ticket 6 today. And remember that tomorrow on WCNY at 8:30 in the morning will be lesson 6 with the problem set. And then Mrs. Culbeful will do the homework on Friday with you. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today with my camera for the exit ticket. I'm going to go ahead and move my camera over so you guys can see the exit ticket a little bit better. So while I'm doing that and adjusting, make sure you guys have your exit ticket. And if you don't have that, just grab a piece of paper and grab a pencil. Okay, so hold tight. Here we go. Let's try this. Alrighty. All right, this looks kind of good here. Here's a plain white sheet of paper. All right. So before we get started, guys, our goal today is you guys have to build non-unit fractions from a unit fraction. So let me just go ahead and remind you that a unit fraction has a numerator of a 1. So this is a unit fraction. So 1 unit or 1 part of a whole thing would be 1 out of 4. So for example, there's a rectangle. 1, 2, 3. And then this part right here would be 1 out of 4 total parts. But let's say that we build upon this and we use 1/4, the unit fraction, and we go ahead and copy it. And we go ahead and do another 1/4. So now let's count this. We have 1/4, 2/4 shaded of this whole piece here, this whole rectangle. So now our fraction is 2 out of 4, or 2/4. This is called a non-unit fraction because it doesn't have a numerator of 1, right? That's how you kind of can tell them apart. So a unit fraction has a numerator of 1, non-unit has a numerator of anything but a 1. Okay, so we kind of use 1/4. We added and build upon it to get a non-unit fraction. This is a brownie. We ate 2 out of the 4 pieces, 2/4. All right, that's kind of what we're going to be doing. That's our goal. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Do you guys have this? All right, I'm going to blow this up a little bit. So let's see if I can get, whee! Wow, that got really, a little bit more. Whoops, that's way too big. Whoop! A little bit more, a little bit more. All right, that looks pretty good. Whoops, over this away, down to this away. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and write our first and last name on our paper. And we should probably go ahead, guys, and write the date. If we have to, keep this somewhere so we remember our work that we did when we were home and trying our very best to do our learning at home and then when school is closed and, we have a report card coming up so we can get, a grade for our effort and working hard on our exit tickets and our math work. Okay. All right, so let's look at this first direction. We're going to go ahead and estimate. I'm going to underline that word. That's our first direction. To equally partition. Remember, partition means to break apart. So I have to equally break apart the strip. So this is the strip. And shade the answer. Write, there's our next direction. We have to do a second direction. We have to write the unit fraction. So we just went over that. So I know my numerator is going to be a 1 inside each shaded unit. Wow, that's a lot. All right, well, let's go ahead and start here with direction 1. Let's estimate and equally partition the strip. Okay, they want us to show 2/5. So I'm going to go ahead and write that numerically, just with numbers. 2/5, 2 out of 5. If my denominator is 5, that tells Mrs. Brigatti that I need 5 equal parts over here. And this is just like a tape diagram. I know I need 4 lines to make 5 equal parts. So I'm going to estimate where would those 4 lines be. I think I'm going to put like one here, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that looks about right. They look about equal. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my lines 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, is that perfect? No, but that's okay. All right, so did I estimate? Yes. Did I equally partition this strip? Yep, I broke it into 5 equal parts. Okay, so direction 1 is done. Now we have to write the unit fraction inside each shaded unit. So how many am I going to shade? I'm going to shade 2. The numerator tells me the number to shade. So I'm going to shade 1, 2. But what do I have to write in here? The unit fraction. So each unit or each piece is 1 out of 5 total pieces. 1 out of 5 total pieces. And they want me to shade in 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead, and the way I'm going to shade it is just kind of draw these dots around my unit fraction of 1/5. I kind of do the same over here too. That's pretty good. It's kind of hard. I wish I would used a different color or something. It's kind of hard to see. All right, so did we write the unit fraction? The unit fraction is 1 out of 5. This is 1/5, 1/5 inside each shaded unit, and I shaded 2. All right, so we did that. I'm going to go ahead and check off direction 2. All right, good job. All right, now let's move on here. I'm going to make sure that you guys can see this okay. We're going to go here now to this pizza, or this circle. I'm going to pretend it's a pizza. And the direction says what fraction of the circle is shaded. I underlined fraction, boys and girls, because a lot of times kids say, oh, 1. Okay, 1 is not a fraction. A fraction has a numerator and a fraction bar and a denominator. A fraction has 2 numbers. It's parts of a whole thing. The numerator tells us how many parts. The denominator tells us the total number of parts. So when it asks you for a fraction, we're always looking for 2 numbers, okay? You guys know I can get a kindergartner to come over and just say there's 1 piece that's shaded, okay? But it doesn't say how many pieces. It says what fraction. So I'm going to start with the denominator. I'm going to count the total number of pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to go ahead and write 8 for my denominator. Put that fraction bar here. And then my numerator is how many are shaded. And you can see that 1 is shaded. So what fraction of the circle is shaded? 1 out of 8, or 1/8. And that is a unit fraction. Or it tells me that each of these pieces, each of these units, or each of these pieces is 1 out of 8. All right, let's go to B. What fraction? Again, a fraction, so I'm looking for a numerator and a denominator of the circle is not shaded. So again, how many total pieces? That's our denominator, that's 8. And how many of these are not shaded? And I know it's 7, but I'm going to just double check my work because I'm a good math student. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can say 7 out of 8 are not shaded, or 7/8 are not shaded. And this is our non-unit fraction. Okay. All right, and then the last one is complete this chart. Let's pretend this is a flower, and I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 petals on the flower. So let's go ahead. It says total number of equal parts. So here it's asking me for a number, not a fraction. So the total number of equal parts is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Total number of shaded equal parts. So again, it's just asking me for a number. So I come over here and I count 1, 2 shaded. So I have 4 total and 2 shaded. Now they want to know what the unit fraction is. And I want to remember that I need a numerator and a denominator because they're asking me for a fraction. And they want a unit fraction. So they want to know how much is each unit or each piece worth. So that's 1, because I know a unit fraction always has a numerator of 1. And there are 4 total pieces. So the unit fraction is 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and just label that because we're good math students, that each petal is 1/4 of the whole flower. If you picked this petal off, you'd pick 1/4 of it. All right, now the last part is what fraction is shaded. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to remember, like I kind of showed you before we started here, our goal was to kind of build upon, build those non-unit fractions from a unit fraction. So if I have the unit fraction 1/4, and then I kind of copy it here in another 1/4, so these two are shaded. We have 1/4, 2/4. 2 are shaded out of the 4 total petals. Okay, and that would be a non-unit fraction. And this is our unit fraction. Okay, all right, boys and girls, that's it for today. So I want you to go ahead and try your best to do this exit ticket, the best that you can do. When you're done, you need to go ahead and add this to Seesaw so Mrs. Calaboof and I can check your work and see how you guys are doing on fractions. Good luck, try your best, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.